What's up, traders? Have you ever wondered why 99% of retail traders keep having losses upon losses? Well, that is because they are taking trades from invalid support and resistance zone. In this video, I am going to teach you exactly how to identify valid support and resistance zones, and more importantly, how to trade them effectively to make good profit. So this is one of those videos that you don't want to miss a moment of, because by the end of this video, you will get the exact knowledge you need to transform your trading results. Before I begin to teach you how to spot valid support and resistance zones, I would like to make you understand what these zones truly are, so that you will be better able to take advantage of them. Support and resistance. These are price areas where big players put their money in the market. Because these players' transactions are large, it causes price to increase or decrease in value. So, a support zone is a price area where the demand for that pair is much, causing the price to increase. Resistance zone is a price area where the supply of a pair is much, and because too many people are selling, it causes the price to decrease in value. So as a smart trader, instead of buying and selling at the middle of nowhere, it makes more sense to buy at a support zone and to sell at a resistance zone. Now understand that in Forex, when you buy, you are not really owning that pair. Buy simply means that you are betting that price will increase. When you click that sell button on your Meta 5 or your Meta 4 or any trading platform you are using, you are not really selling a portion of that pair. It means that you are betting that price will decrease in value. I'm not only going to teach you how to identify valid support and resistance zones, I will also teach you how I personally take advantage of them in generating results such as this, and this. Now, this zone right here is a very valid resistance zone. The reason why this zone is valid is because price has respected this zone and price has been faithful with its behavior around this zone. As price was above, price had a push to the upside, price was below, retested it, had a push to the down, price retested it, had a push to the down, price broke above the zone, retested it, and moved to the up. This is how you know that this zone indeed is a very respected zone. So these are one of those valid zones that we are talking about. Understand this, that a support zone can also be used as a resistance zone if price breaks below the zone, and also a resistance zone can be used as support only if price breaks above the zone. So the way price really behave around these zones is that whenever price breaks above this zone, price is more likely to retest this zone using it as support to then push to the upside. And if price breaks below this zone, price is more likely to retest this zone, use it as resistance to move to the downside. So this is exactly how price reacts within this zone. And below, we have a valid support zone as well. And just like I mentioned, a support zone can also be used as resistance, and a resistance zone can also be used as support. So basically, we call these zones together area of interest, area where you want to be interested in buying, or area where you want to be interested in selling off. All right. So you can see this zone when price broke below the zone, price retested this zone and had a push to the downside. When price broke above, price retested the zone, had a positive move to the upside. Price retested it, had a push to the up. From this zone, price also had a push to the up. Then price broke below the zone, retested it and used it to sell aggressively. Price retested it, the same thing. Price went to the upside, all right? You can see how consistent price has been in this area. This is how you know that this zone that I'm marking, this zone is valid. Based on the number of touches that the zone has had, this increases your confirmation that price is more likely to repeat the behavior again. And 50% of the time, price usually repeats its behavior. 50% of the time, it does not repeat the same behavior. So there's something I really want you all as traders to understand, is that because the setup that you use in having a win trade yesterday is playing out or forming up right in front of you, does not mean that that setup will also give you a win. And because the setup that you used last time gave you a loss, does not mean that the setup forming up right now will also give you a loss. So the way I take advantage of them is with the alignment of trend directions. So what we have right here is a bullish trend forming up, all right? So moving to the line chart, you can see that price formed a lower low, then after price formed a lower high.
From that lower high, price formed a lower low. And what happened next is that price shifted structure, forming a higher high. And we know after a higher high, a higher low has to be formed. And from that higher low, we'll be buying. But you really cannot tell where this higher low will be formed at. So identifying support zone now gives us more advantage and chances of we really catching the higher low. All right. So this zone right here, because price has bought from this zone multiple times in the past, I'm anticipating that price will come into this zone. Then from this zone, I will be buying. And you can see how price has been reacting in the zone. Price came into the zone, had a buy into this zone. Price tapped into the zone again, had another buy into that zone. So that is exactly what I'm anticipating here. The higher low inside this zone, and then the potential higher high at this zone. And let me show you some results of this strategy. You can clearly see that the trend direction is bullish, the higher low, higher high. I'm anticipating the higher low to be formed inside this zone because that zone is my area of interest. All right. You can see how price has been reacting from the zone. When price broke above the zone, price retested the zone, had a push to the upside. All right. When price was below the zone, price was selling aggressively. So I knew that price we have to retest this zone, then buy. And once price comes into the zone, I don't just place orders. All right. I don't set order limit inside the zone because you can't tell if price will respect the zone. Just like I mentioned earlier that price will respect your zone 50% of the time. Price will also disrespect your zone 50% of the time. All right. So I want confirmations. I personally have some four criterias, four kind of entry signal, but I'll be only revealing one here. All right. And that is engulfing candles. So once price comes into my zone, I want to see a bullish or a bearish engulfing candle, giving me confirmation that these big players have stepped into the market. So as price came into the zone, I saw this big push to the upside. So I took the trade right here. I set my stop loss at the low of the candles and my take profit at a nice and suitable area. Euro card. This is the trade that made me $400 on Monday. All right. So let's go to the daily time frame. Here on the daily time frame, you can clearly see that price is bullish, a higher high. So I'm anticipating a higher low. So I've already discovered my zone. And you can see how price has been reacting in the zone. From this zone, price had a big buy. Price broke above, had a big buy, broke below, battle inside the zone, use it as resistance, and price sold off. And price has broken above again. I know that price will test and buy. And you can see that price still respected the zone here, respected it here. So this is exactly how you know that price is respecting the zone. If price has respected the zone multiple times in the past, price is more likely to respect it again. GBP CHF. This one is almost at take profit. All right. So you can see here on the daily time that price is bullish. I'm anticipating a higher low. So I waited for price to come into the support zone. And you can see the zone aggressive sell, sells, buys. So this zone is very valid. This is how you validate zone. I teach exactly what I practice. You can see here that the engulfing candle. Then I took my trade, 1 to 2 weeks to reward, and almost there. You can see how respectful this zone is. So I'm waiting for price to come into the zone, then patiently go to the 4 hour time frame, wait if I will see confirmations by these big players, then I buy.
If you got value from this video, show some love by subscribing to this channel, like the video and comment your thoughts. And don't forget to share this video with a fellow trader who you want to see win this year 2026.